What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the first Ultraboost Retro, the Ultraboost 2.0 Multicolor. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. Also make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at RealSethFowler. But with all that out of the way, let's get into it. Now that the Ultraboost hype has died down a little bit, it looks like Adidas is trying to find ways to revitalize that same hype behind the Ultraboost. And the way that they're doing that is the tried and true retro method, which Jordan Brand has been doing for years, and honestly, it's not a bad way to go. The main reason is because it gives all the people who missed out on original colorways in the past another chance to grab the shoe that they always wanted. Obviously, not all the old Ultraboost colorways will be retro, but some of the more popular ones will make their return in 2018 and 2019. Of course, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail of today's video, today we're reviewing one of those retros, the Ultraboost 2.0 Multicolor. Jumping right into the sneaker, the first thing you'll notice is the crazy multicolor prime knit upper. Just like the original 2016 release of the shoe, you've still got that 2.0 prime knit gradient pattern. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of the 2.0 prime knit pattern. I just think it's a little bit too much going on the toe of the sneaker. However, on this shoe, because it's meant to be so crazy and so out there, I actually think it comes out pretty nicely. Let me rephrase that. It's not that I thought the 2.0 gradient pattern was too busy, it's just that there was too much like color blocking going on the toe of the shoe, and I just didn't like the way that looked. But the thing I actually really like about this 2.0 gradient pattern is that each one of these sections has a different colorful pattern. No one section is exactly the same, as it should be. Around the edge of the toe, you've got this sort of speckled multicolor look. I actually wouldn't have minded if the entire shoe had been covered in this pattern, but you know what? I do kind of like this multicolor pattern better, so I'm not mad at it. I guess that's why they have professional colorists doing the colorways and not me. Separating the outer multicolor section and the inner multicolor section, you've got this thin white band. At first, I didn't like that band, especially when I saw it online, but then when I actually got the shoe in hand, it really does provide a nice break between the multicolor craziness, which I think is actually necessary. Inside that white band, we've got this thick band of just total multicolor craziness. This inner band reminds me a lot of the Kith Aspen multicolor mids. It's a very like grandma sweater sort of vibe. And then rounding off the toe, we've got a slightly thicker speckled multicolor pattern. From a distance, the colors sort of blend together and there seems to be sort of a dominant red feel to the entire multicolor pattern, which I'm not mad at. It actually makes sense as to why they made the heel cup of the shoe red. Continuing back on the shoe, you've got this matte white midfoot cage. Thank God they made it white, because if they had made it red like the heel counter or just any other color, it would have looked awful. There's just no other way around it. It would not have looked good. As you continue up the shoe, you've got your flat white laces. At the end of the laces, you've actually got these red lace tips, which I actually think are a pretty nice detail. And just above that, you've got this white prime knit tongue, I guess you could call it. It's also got this white patch with the Adidas logo in silver. Inside the shoe, you've got your standard white Adidas Ultraboost sock liner, and as you can see, you've got this bright red insole with the original Adidas Ultraboost logo printed on the heel. I'm so glad they changed that back, because that sort of bubble boost text logo that they have on the newer ones, it doesn't look great. As for fit, this multicolor 2.0 does seem to fit slightly tighter than I remember. I never owned this particular colorway, so maybe it's just this colorway that fits a little bit tighter, but the 2.0s that I do have do seem to be a little bit looser than this. Maybe I just haven't broken it in yet, or maybe I just haven't loosened the laces enough. I'm not sure what the deal was, but once I actually got my foot in there and walked around a bit, it did feel like it fit fine, like there wasn't any problems, but to be honest, it did feel a little bit more snug than I remember 2.0s feeling. That totally could just be in my head. I don't think they redid tooling on this shoe that I know of, so I don't know why the fit would have changed, but for whatever reason, it just felt tighter than my other pairs. I would still go with your regular Ultraboost size. Like for me, I go true to size. I'll still go true to size on this shoe, but it was just something that I noticed. Continuing back on the shoe, you've got this primarily white prime knit ankle area. I say primarily white because there are still tiny little multicolor accents hidden throughout. And then continuing on to the heel of the sneaker, you've got this bright red matte heel cup. I gotta be honest, this is the one part of the shoe I'm not totally in love with. I just don't really like how bright it is. I get that from a distance the multicolor does look mostly red, but this heel counter is just so like dominant and so out there, and just it doesn't really balance out the shoe too well in my opinion. It's not a deal breaker, and red genuinely is my favorite color, so I do like the actual color. I just don't like how big of an accent it is on this shoe. On the lateral side of the heel counter, you've got your Ultraboost text, Ultra written in silver, Boost written in gold. And then moving down the shoe, we get to everyone's favorite full-length Boost midsole. At this point, I would usually go, oh, if you haven't tried Boost, you're stupid. But I mean, why are you watching my videos if you haven't even tried on a pair of Boost shoes yet? I didn't mean that, please don't stop watching. And then finally moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got your white webbed Continental outsole. Actually, a kind of interesting thing is that obviously in person this outsole is white, but actually printed on the label of the box, and I bought this directly from Adidas, the picture of the shoe has an orange outsole. I don't know why that is, maybe a last minute design change? I don't know. Overall, I am very happy that Adidas is actually retroing Ultraboost. As you guys know, even from before I started this channel, the Ultraboost was always one of my favorite sneakers. So to be given the chance to actually grab pairs that I missed out on years ago is really cool. This colorway, however, is not really my favorite, and neither is the Ultraboost 2.0, but I still like the multicolor upper. I mean, obviously enough to buy the shoe. But that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts on the first Ultraboost retro and which colorways you'd like to see retro in the future, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at @RealSethFowler. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.